Got it. You dun 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 dun.
My wife loves me. She actually loves me.
How do you know? What's up, Jody?
She got me the candy I like.
Hey, you should have tracking it too. I sent it by email and PayPal. Just sent you one, so I use a ship with. Everybody should be starting to float around here. Man, Mosaic basketball has been rough with people filling it today. Jacob now did a 3-boxer. He pulled an Edwards auto and a LeBron stained glass in those 3 boxes. Now, I don't know how fluid we're going to see these stained glass, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Before they were considered case hits.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll definitely. Oh, there's Troy. Troy, I don't think I can transfer over, just to let you know, but it's fine. I still got you on the other one.
Hey, Magnus. Hey, Chris.
Chris, I need to add you. This is why I catch up on adding people for mods that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Mosaic's been rough. But what I've seen, though, is a lot of stained glass pulled out of these 3 boxers. And I mean, unless they're getting them from multiple distributors, I think stained glass is more plentiful now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I've only got to watch I watched recaps more about probably about 8 breaks. And I would say at least half of them had a stained glass card, and they're all 3 boxers or 4 boxers. So either the rest of their stuff's dud or, something crazy is going on out there.
Huh.
Oh, nice, Magnus.
There you go.
I can't believe it. 8's only at 1,600, though. I thought those were higher for some reason, but still good profit. I got a video tomorrow of stuff that I picked up over the last 2 months. I finally broke down and did one. It no means I tell anybody to go buy the stuff that I purchased, like I say, but it's just because people always keep asking me, you haven't bought really anything except for those few things that show. I'm like, really, I have. It's just I don't show a lot of it. So that's in tomorrow's video. Then you guys will have a card show video. Hopefully it's not all the same stuff. If it is, I'll try to make it interesting.
No, Theodore, I came home actually even. So that's actually a good thing. I came home even. No taxables.
I think it has to be over 1,500 or something like that in Vegas to be taxable. 12 is it? I couldn't remember. I know each state was different. I knew one of them was 12, one was 15 between Alabama, Carson, or Colorado, and all that.
Here in California, 12. So
I'll tell you what, man, I might start. I've been sitting there debating on selling some of my bigger stuff next year and going into smaller stuff because, with the big bump over, it's really hard to move the bigger stuff. And the people that are buying the bigger stuff now are all getting into it for NFTs mostly. Mm-hmm. And recently, if you guys don't know about block packs, I'd check it out. It's not an NFT, but it is. But it's like a RAS NFT. So if you win, you can either keep it as an NFT or get the real card. Well, last night or the night before, he did a thing to where you buy into a card and you get X amount of packs from him for free for hooking somebody up, basically. So I own 10 pieces, and I think it's out of 3,200 of a Jordan first relic card BGS 85. Now their thing is they have it at a set price. If it reaches like double the price, they sell it so you get double your money back. So basically, you were paying like $5 a spot, but I think the value of it was like $7 or $8 per spot or something crazy. So I mean, it was there as a discount. I figured I'd try it.
1,200. Thanks, Charles. We didn't go to any dispensaries. Usually we go to that, I can't remember what it's called, Planet something.
Hollywood?
We've always gone there. No, dispensary.
Oh, that's what he wrote. I thought it said discrepancies. My bad. I read it quick. I'm like, did you go to any discrepancies? I'm like, is that like a brothel?
No, we didn't go to any dispensaries. Well, the one we used, I can't remember what it's called, Planet, or I can't remember what it is. But we usually go there. We didn't go there this time. We basically stuck around the same place. We went to South Point one day.
So it's legal out there? They have dispensaries for recreational?
Mm-hmm.
Charles,
Planet
if I
51.
come out to Vegas, I need to come to your house because I don't think the Bellagio would allow it.
Planet 51. That's the place. It's really nice, actually. Planet 51 is a nice one. That's the one.
Oh, you know what, Magnus? When I saw that, I just thought about you said 69 Nolan Ryan. I was thinking a rookie card. It's been one hellified week for me. I ain't gonna joke because they want me to go to Fort Drum, New York, to be on a defense witness on something that I have no knowledge of the guy and all this stuff. And I've been fighting it all week between that and handling card stuff and trying to close out for the year and then get ready for tax season in January because that's when I have to sit there and file all my state sales taxes and stuff. It's been crazy. And boy, do I owe some state sales tax this year.
Magnus, I'd wait. I wouldn't sell that for Nolan Ryan yet. I wouldn't move it yet until probably he passes. That's when you're going to get. That's when you're going to get the uptick.
That's what I would do. Nolan Ryan's old.
Away. That's when you're going to get your big uptick.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's what I've been tempted with because I own a lot of Nolan Ryan stuff, a lot. Between him, Clemente, Jordan, Crosby cards, I have so much. And recently, I've been really debating on, do I want to buy that last piece for the Jordan to hit 23 autographs, or do I just want to start piecing it out? And my idea is if I start piecing this stuff out, that I could say, yes, I can, get rid of it. I want to go into more of the older vintage stuff. I mean, I'm not going to be able to build like a tobacco set or something like that. But, stuff that's out there that I can keep, it'll be PSA graded, of course, and then just hold it more. Because if you ever pay attention to we're at a point to where things have really gone down a lot from what they were now. Even if you go before the hype, some of them cards have dipped below that. And I could use Zion for an example offhand. Even Lucas stuff's still above a little bit, but the pop reports are insane. But I'm thinking of just going and hitting vintage or some rare one-on-ones and stuff.
Troy, yeah, I did gambling there. I played Hold'em, 3-card poker, a little bit of Pai Gow, slots, all kinds of stuff. Magnus, yeah, it never fails when it comes to guys. Whenever they're Hall of Famers and they pass away and they're big like that, they will get an uptick when they get in the Hall of Fame, and they will get an uptick when they actually pass away. I mean, look at Kobe Bryant, for instance. I mean, no one would have thought he would have died at a young age, but his rookie cards weren't as crazy until after he passed away. Then they just skyrocketed.
Kobe is not a good example because his happened during the boom. And if you look at the Topps rookie, how much it went up a PSA 10 to what it is now, that's not a real good example because there's a lot of inflation now. If you go into guys like Al Kaline or Kaline, yeah, Kaline.
Bob
And
Gibson
a
was
couple
another
of the
one.
other guys like that, that's where you can really tell a difference.
Bob Gibson, Lou Brock. Um, those are just the recent one. Tom Seaver.
But see, here's the point that's going to be real hard with it. Collectors are going to have to remember those guys. Nobody remembers what Lou Brock was, that Ricky Henderson broke his record and all that stuff, because you had to be part of that era. It's going to be dying down. So the things like I would start looking at, like Hank Aaron, he's always going to be remembered as movies. Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Clemente, Nolan Ryan, players like that there. Now, I think the newer stuff is going to settle down. And I can tell you this year at basketball, that rookie class sucks. And they're actually asking, do you want this stuff? No, I don't want it. I really don't. I think your vintage is still going to be the way it always has been, where it's going to start and just slowly increase over time. So if you want to be a very long-term investment, to say like you have a kid that's 5-10 years old, you want buy some stuff and you're afraid of stock, vintage, I think, is perfect. I would stay away from like Jordan rookies, Bird rookies, stuff like that there, because their peak and everything that happened during that time frame is just real messy right now. I would look more, like I said, into players, even like if you can find Shoeless Joe Jackson, Jackie Robinson, stuff like that, where people made documentaries and stuff about people that have history behind it. I think you're fine with those.
Koufax would be a good one.
Oh, Theodore, I'm going to tell you.
What's the pop report on that Nolan Ryan, though?
What's that?
What's the pop on that 8 Ryan?
They're low. 8s, 9s, and 10s are very, very low. And 8 would be something I would hold.
Yeah.
If it was just I wasn't going to collect him anymore, I would sell it as soon as he passes away, because realistically, you might see people that'll surpass Nolan Ryan, but overall, for the longest he played with the records he had across the board and stuff, it's hard. People won't remember Nolan Ryan. I mean, other than maybe his figurines and stuff and little, what do you call those things? Monuments that are built to him. Well, actually, Jody, it's not 800. I just looked. 800 is what my distributor offered him to me today. They're $1,000 on blowout. My thing is, I'm staying away from anything that comes out with a retail product out, which Mosaic is. And my example was Select Basketball was selling at like $900, $1,000 a box. Lucky I got mine on pre-order, and I'll tell you, it was under $200. I think it was closer to $150. Pulled an Anthony Edwards RPA. They were selling for a third of the cost of the box. I will not get into it. I think it's ridiculous. It's just really bad. Now, I still will get into breaks. I just got into a Bowman Chrome break, but I won my spots on Razes, so I have very little into. I think I had like, what was that, $82, and I had 3 teams, and I know one card I pulled is $200 raw. So I mean, I'm way ahead, but some of that stuff's horrible. I don't know on the 8 Magnus. I haven't looked in a long time frame. I own one. I couldn't tell you what the pop is onto. I haven't looked them up.
I don't have one grid. I have one signed.
Well, if you look, and I'll tell you, Ryan, card collector too. I'd known him before he had his shop and all the YouTube stuff. I mean, he was in the break rooms with us way long time ago. He'll even tell you, if you look at like Pat Mahomes, I know that was in one of his recent videos, but he talked about this, I think, a year ago. No patch or relic of him is game worn. It's all player worn and stuff like that. Do I think they make the card look pretty with shields and stuff? Yeah, I like the shield concept back in, I think it was 09 or 10 when they first came out. One of the 2 years I was deployed. I want to say it was 09. Because I bought one of the first Peyton Manning shields. They were not autographed. Hobbyinsider.net. I think I spent $250 for it, held it for about 5 years. And yeah, I made probably like 10 times the amount on it by then, because shields and stuff became popular. But I think a lot of that stuff is just, it's going to go with eye appeal. People are going to learn it's not game worn. I still think if it's autographed, either way, it's autographed. I mean, all it is when you see a patch, it's for a way for somebody to say my card's worth more than yours because I got 4-color or I have part of an eyeball or whatever else, an arm, a beak in it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Well, price points are tricky across the board with this stuff. You have to really look at it to say, if I open this box up and I don't grade anything, am I going to get my value? Honestly, the odds are no. Now, if you grade it, you're going to have to wait time out, especially if you're not going to spend $150 a card to grade, because SGC modern or ultra modern, whatever you want to call it, just not worth it unless it's something that you don't think is going to do well PSA, and SGC is going to cut you slack. I don't get the laundry tags either. I mean, I think the Nike swoosh was cool. The little logo men and the shields were all cool stuff. I thought it was something different. Heck, how many people remember when Dynasty came out in like 14, 15, and 16? You were getting logo men patches that were out of 10. Now they're 101s.
I missed a Letterman.
Man, I'm trying to think. That was Upper Deck's thing.
I know I missed those. I liked them because you could actually try, like if you wanted to get Jeter, you can actually try and get all the letters, the JETER, and have them all. That was cool to have that.
I had that. I sold it to a big Jeter collector.
Yeah, but that's cool. To me, that's more of a chase. You're hunting for that. I like that. Laundry tag, I'm not big on a laundry tag. Logo man, okay, I like the logo man. I like those. I like those. But I like the Lettermans. The Lettermans were cool.
Troy, the
Unless
price.
you're going for Giannis's last name, then you're screwed.
Troy, the price of basketball from this year's Mosaic to last year's is down. I want to say last year we were getting a hobby around 950 after day of release, and this year it's 800. This year's rookie class, I think, is going to hurt the basketball market. It's always better to chase your second, third year players.
Well, this Mosaic that just came out is the LaMelo and Edwards. It's not this year's.
Well, I know, but it's still lower than Zion and Morant's rookie year.
Which
I wouldn't even keep it sealed, to be honest. My stuff that I keep sealed is hobby only. Now, Grant, I've been buying retail blaster cases of Upper Deck hockey and stuff recently and stuff like that because they're letting me order it. But, I mean, it's very little. I mean, I'm getting it like, what I tell you, it was like 40% off or something like that. And so, I mean, I'll hold it. I mean, if somebody stud comes out of it, I'll open it up and grade the rookies or something. But
what's so funny? I was thinking this yesterday. You have Zion and Jaw about 1 year, the two big. Last year you have LaMelo and Edwards, basically. Which ones are actually doing better? That's what made. I think Edwards is actually. He's healthy. He's doing better than Zion.
I don't know.
LaMelo and Jaw, they're pretty neck and neck.
Not really. Jaw's too much injured. He has not had anything proven, at least. And LaMelo really hasn't stayed very, very consistent, but he's consistent enough to where, yeah, he did go have his little thing last year. He was out a little bit. But his overall game, by watching him, is good. I think Edwards with that knee is going to be very tricky for the next 5 years. He keeps injuring his legs. And I mean, Zion, I sold all my Zions to where I made money. So if I have any left, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I wouldn't invest in them like people are saying to go do. If you're going to buy a Zion, I would be very, very careful right now.
I'm not looking for any Zions because his weight is going to continue to be his problem his whole career. That's going to
Oh,
be his
Shaq's
problem.
too.
But Shaq had a longer career. He actually could maintain it. He was lean. Then he started getting bigger with age, which is normal. Zion, he's still young. He should not be getting this big unless he's not taking care of himself, which he's not.
Oh, he just doesn't follow a diet.
No, but Shaq, I don't think he followed his diet, but Shaq did the work. When he came in the league, he was a lean machine. As he's got older and older, yeah, he put on more pounds, but Shaq stayed consistent for
Look at
a long time.
Look at Barkley. People made fun of him for years for being a big
Yep.
bodied person. He can
Yeah.
play basketball still to the end, but there's a difference between the way these dudes' health is now compared to before. And plus, you got to worry about COVID out there the whole time frame. I mean, every time somebody gets COVID in basketball, that means you're probably out, I don't know, 5, 6 games maybe a season. You get that 3 or 4 times. I don't know. I mean, to me, basketball just hasn't been that exciting to me. I mean, is it fun trying to watch the Suns keep winning games and watching Curry do what he does? Yeah, but there's not like a whole lot of anything out there draws me to watch the games anymore.
Yeah, but Oliver Miller tractor trailer, they didn't have the hype. Zion was the number one. He's all the hype. They were considering him the next big thing. No one was really considering tractor trailer or Oliver Miller the next big thing.
I seen that video,
Yeah,
Charles. That was funny. Shift a little bit of direction here. Everybody's tracking Collector's Universe block card ladder. I never used card ladder, so I can't really speak of it. I've looked at their pricing of it. I guess there's a free membership and one you pay $15 a month on. Collector's Universe, I don't know if they're going to try to incorporate that into your PSA membership where you'll get like free access or whatever it may be. Maybe they do. But I've seen a lot of talk about it today. A lot, I would say, is people are saying, oh, you can buy card ladder PSA. Well, PSA didn't buy it. Collector's Universe bought it.
Yeah.
And they're saying, PSA, you can't even grade my cards, takes you a year. Well, yeah, it does, because we overload them with a bunch of crap and we're getting crap back now. And you're like, man, this sucks, because back then a 9 got me this, and now it's getting me freaking, maybe if I'm lucky, my money $15 back to grade. But I think when you look at it overall, everybody's buying everything out. I mean, heck, even LeBron James now owns the Pittsburgh Penguins, which makes me just want to puke every time I say it. He's part of that group. But I think with the way the sports industry went the last 2 years, people are like, I gotta get it. Gotta get this now. These big groups just buying everything up. Oh, I hate anything digital.
No, I ain't doing anything digital. Why? It's not real.
Like I said, the NFTs that I belong to, if you win the NFT, you could say, I want the card, and they will mail you the physical card. I tried it with, I can't remember who it was through now. Let me see here. It's on my email.
Troy, no, I don't use ComC. Only thing I use is a DC Sports. I don't use ComC for buying or selling. I won't buy any cards if it's ComC or PropC. If they're selling it, I ain't buying it.
Well, here's the thing. ComC, nobody monitors their stuff for, in those card ladders and freaking Jeff Wilson's thing and everything else out there. The only way you find a ComC is if it sells off their eBay, but a direct sell you don't see. If somebody was smart enough to build something to where you could incorporate everything out there and even try to find a way to where even if people screenshot it and send it in, Facebook, Instagram, sales and all that, you would have a huge money maker there still, because you would have the most complete sales report with averages on it. All these other ones, they're not complete.
Oh, he'll probably say it's good for the hobby. It's a good thing, guys. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because he has his thing that eventually that he thinks he can probably sell to them.
Oh, I bet you Jeff Wilson's mad because he couldn't sell him his. I guarantee it. He's probably now looking like, well, who can I sell it to? Beckett or SGC? Well, SGC likes me.
Then they would buy it.
You never know. You never know. I mean, Fanatics could end up buying it from Jeff Wilson. Next thing you know, they buy SGC and CSG's already somewhere underneath their umbrella, and now all of a sudden they start monopolizing more. I mean, it's all going to be coming. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is really going to come to fruit beginning of next year because that's when you're going to start seeing people stressing for the new quarterly reports instead of end of the year, which is closing now. And I think that's one reason why Collectors Universe also picked up Card Ladder was because it's their end of the year stuff. Maybe they had to try to get a boost and stuff.
Well, with Fanatics and CSG under the same umbrella, yeah, I can see you only grading their cards with them.
PSA sent an email out and I cannot find it, but the title into it was something like about Fanatics and PSA. And by dang, I deleted it and I must have emptied out my trash can that day, but I couldn't find anything on their website about it. Something about grading Fanatics or something. I don't know what it dealt with. Maybe it was like grading their jerseys. I don't know.
Well, Fanatics uses Beckett for all their shit.
For certifications.
Yep. Yeah, for auto certifications, yeah.
But when you start looking at like their they have their own little card slab thing, but maybe they're starting to go something with them. I don't know. I cannot find the email. I sat there, read it, and I thought I pinned it to save, and I must have deleted it. And my trash box deletes every so many hours. But yeah, Card Ladder, and I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk bad about Card Ladder with the people that made it originally and all that, but I've never used it. I look for the free services, like when Card Snoop came out. Now you got the new 130 point. I mean, at least Card Ladder has a bunch of stuff in it besides eBay. I mean, they got My Slab, so does 130 point. They got a bunch of different auction houses and stuff. But yeah, that's great for all the high end stuff. But there's so much more out there that's being sold on different platforms until they can incorporate that. That's get people all the time come to me like, well, last eBay sells this, and I can be like, well, last My Slabs is this. You want to talk price difference? Okay, here you go, 1% versus 13.
No, probably doesn't then. But
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say with Terra Peak on there. I know they do. They get a lot of it off of it. I know recently My Slabs with was trying to get into all the stuff out there too to start incorporating their stuff because they get a good bit of sales out there. I mean, yeah, it's cheaper a lot of stuff than eBay, but there's also stuff it sells on there that never wouldn't sell on eBay.
yeah.
Then again, you got a lot of stuff it sells at shows all the time that nobody knows the price of it. I mean, if you could sit there and even if you put down it was a private sale, whether it was a show or Instagram, but you know it's guaranteed it's sold there, that stuff needs to be out there. And I think another thing that's going to hit a lot of people next year is selling on platforms and selling over $600. All that tax stuff. $10.99. Oh yeah, it has. I mean, when new people came in, they were just buying everything.
Yep.
Will it happen again? Don't know if it'll happen in 10 years, 20 years, 5 years. It'll happen. Everything always resurfaces. I don't know if it'll ever be as hot as a boom as we've seen, but I guarantee you we'll see like a half boom somewhere down the road. And that's the time you sell. And then you just got to be disciplined enough not to buy anything really, except for certain things you like or want. I mean, when I sold all my Lucas stuff, I didn't go stir crazy and start buying everything across the board. I'd have lost a ton of money. I mean, if you look at some of these YouTube guys that were out there doing it, they're calling it the hustle or whatever they're calling it out there. They're losing tons off of it. They made money, but now because they kept reinvesting, some of that stuff's dropped half fold. And you're talking a $40,000 car is now 20,000. Tell me that don't sting.
Oh, I knew better whenever the bloom happened. Don't chase. That's what happens. Everyone sees someone say, "Oh, this guy's cards are going up. Oh, gotta go get him. Gotta go." No, I did not even go chase that shit.
Michael, I do when I get the extra stuff in. I usually put a video up saying it's on there. And sometimes people will get with me like, will you open it live? And I'll say yay or nay, depending on how heavy the product is of tearing it apart and stuff like that. Like next week, I'll open my own Topps Chrome Black up because I like the product, but I think it's Heritage High number. I'll throw it in the store. I just not a Heritage person at all. But there's a ton of people who are. Just like there's a ton of Alan Ginter. I'm just not there.
Well, that's what PSA need to do. They need to, put a limit for the group submitters.
They will. They're going to do it.
That's the only way they're going to be able to keep up.
Or they're going to have their own section that it goes to, and it'll be like it is now, like where the group submitters are so far behind the members, it's not even funny. That's why people got to ask, did you use a group submitter? Well, that's not accurate then. And I think that's fair. If you're going to use some kind of group submitter and get something at a lower cost, then you shouldn't get the whole platform as speedy as services. Us that are paying the membership fees and more money for that submission. I remember Beckett when they did it was 300. Oh, it depends on who it was. It could have been 300 a week, 200 a week. And that was a while back.
J-Mill, I've never bought anything from Fanatics, but that sucks.
Oh, I just had to do a return on eBay. I bought a Roethlisberger downtown. Guy scanned a card, and there was a big old blemish in the chrome onto it. And I put the thing in, just sent it back today. Took a picture, said this was not in your description, nor did it show on your scan. It should have been well pointed out to anybody. And I was waiting for him to argue with me on to, because I was going to be like, dude, this is not going to come back either a 9 or an 8. This is a PSA 6, excellent mint. And I could show you proof of people that had the same blemish that got 6s on it. I would just go through my credit card or PayPal and show them and get it back, get your money back. They're responsible to get that to you in a suitable condition, I should say. Suitable, meaning that I can understand if it was, compressed with bubble wrap and something fell on it, it might be a little smashed looking or something. As long as the cards aren't damaged, it's fine. But yeah, they should do something there.
Yeah, work with PayPal. They're good on that stuff. If you use PayPal, they're good on it. They're good on it.
There's nothing wrong with it. You have the evidence. You could send pictures to the company that you pay, whether it's your bank or your credit card, and say, here's the pictures how it came there. Here's the email saying they won't do nothing about it. They'll give you your money back, and then they'll take the money from them, or they'll take them to court over it and they'll win.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, for as little bit of money that they have to reimburse you from what the $1 billion Fanatics is, that's just ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times I packaged things up when I used to be a full-time breaker. And, occasionally stuff gets grabbed wrong in them trays and shredded. I'd refund the guy and be like, hey, there was insurance in their package. Go ahead and claim it. Hopefully they give it to you. And they did. He got double, he got a refund from me and he got to claim the insurance. But that's just fair. I mean, I'm out either way. But, for somebody that, whether there was hits or not into it, you try to think, well, okay, there was probably about $200 in cards in there. I insured it for the price that he bought it for, and I just refund him. He should be pretty much equal on it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Theodore. They need to move them if they do, because here's the thing: Louisville is going to have one for 3 weeks straight. One I went to last week, I seen the same ones there. There were set of the show I was at 2 weeks before. The show was half filled. Now I'm going to go to one tomorrow. It's supposed to have 60 tables and be full. We'll see, because everybody always exaggerates the guys that run the shows. Oh, we're almost full. You better get a table if you want it now. No, I'll come and look. And that's where the cameras will come into play at. But when you have the same people coming to every show and they cannot change their inventory, that's bad unless you're hitting a player's hot streak. At the same time frame, you get these guys who overprice their cards, and it's just you walk right by them after you see their prices, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'd come down a little bit. I'm not even dealing with you. You're 20% over comps on $1,000 card. What are you gonna do? Come down $100, still be over? No, it ain't working that way. If you lost money on what you spent it on, you got to make it back and find your one way of doing it."
Well, you know why Fanatics does that? Because those Donruss cards, well, if that Donruss set is the Fanatics exclusive, then they should refund you.
They should, exactly.
Yeah, but he says right there, they consider sports cards non-refundable.
I could see non-refundable if you opened them up to try to return them. I got that. But you mailed something out that was not packaged properly. That's another cause.
Yeah.
They should insure their own stuff. Reimbursed you, collect their insurance. It's what I mean. Look at PSA and all of them have their own insurance. So if you put a declared value on a card and it gets ruined, that's what they're going to give you, that declared value. I can tell you that from experience. And that's why you got to do your declared value. Do you really think it's going to be a 9 or a 10? And if it comes a 10, you only did a 9, you better hope it comes the right way. You just blowing smoke.
Always.
Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of Fanatics thing to begin with, so you see where I'm going to go with it. Unless they end up buying out Tops or Upper Deck or somehow lease it out to them, won't even touch them.
No, they'll probably buy Panini first.
I doubt it. Panini has their hands in other products. You got to think Panini owns UFC. They're into soccer as well too. You can't really touch Tops because Tops also is into soccer. They have WWE. They have racing and all that stuff's all through Panini as well too, NASCAR and F1. Yep. So they have their money in other areas. They're just going to have to look at how they're going to utilize their employees. I mean, even Upper Deck's ventured out into different areas, Marvel, freaking stuff like that there.
Well, they went AEW.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I mean, my buddy asked me if I got any boxes, and I was like, no. And I just happened to look at what they were consisting of in them boxes, and I think Upper Deck really did a good job onto it. It's going to be a popular product among the wrestling fans.
Yeah.
It's not going to be tacky like a Kiss card or freaking, here's part of the game used ring mat and stuff like that. I mean, to me, it was cool when they did the game floors. Upper Deck did it with basketball a while back.
I'm surprised no one's hit tennis or boxing yet.
Well, you got golf as Upper Deck.
Yeah. But
tennis used to be a Tops product, and I think it still is. You just don't see much of it. The Olympic stuff, when it came out, I believe was between Upper Deck and Tops. Both touched on that because you could use the Olympic jerseys with the players on it. Oh gosh, Collector's Edge. That's like
Honestly,
Wild Card came back and everybody was all hyped. And I looked at the cards. I'm like, those are crappy.
honestly, I can see Panini. They already do it in a way. College football, going fully into college football.
They could.
They already do. I mean, they already got the drafts. They got the
Well, they got the
collegiate.
NBA or the NCAA all across the
Mhm.
board.
If they were smart, if I was Panini, I'd go heavy into the college.
I mean, if you really look, Tops has the stuff with the
Minor league.
baseball too that way too, the minors and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if the minors falls or any what they fall under and stuff, but they can still do prospects. They can still do retired players.
Okay, so minor league baseball would still be under the major league umbrella because a lot of the major league teams took over the minor league teams and a lot of them got shut down.
Well, I mean, you could still have the dude pose in a suit or whatever, and you still have your freaking first Tops card of them. And I
Yeah.
think if they look at what Upper Deck did across the board with was it that champions thing, Goodwin, Godwin, something like that.
Godwin.
Instead, if you even look at what they just did with Skybox Premium, you could really finagle with what somebody's wearing on there and
Oh yeah.
produce a card.
They could go subcontract to Tops and Panini. I'm not sure. They probably will because then they ain't got to worry about getting all the equipment and everything they got to do. Since Panini
I
and Tops
honestly think
already
it'd be
have
the
it.
smartest thing is to let everybody bid for bits and pieces of their license, X amount of products per year. You bring back Upper Deck, you bring Tops back into football and basketball, and you re-excite the industry because now you have Upper Deck back, you
I
have
would
Tops back,
I
Bowman
would
back, and
love I would love to see Topps Chrome basketball come back or Bowman Chrome basketball come back or you know, I would love to see that. I'd love to see Fleer Metal come back. The real Fleer Metal come back.
there's a lot. It'd be nice to come back. I mean, heck, they're bringing back Tops Pristine
Yeah.
for baseball next year. I think when I read it, I was like, wow, it's kind of impressive with what you get in a box. Now, I don't know what it's going to cost, but something new, something different. I liked it from back in the day. I think that you force all the new junk products out, especially the umpteen variations of Bowman First Edition, Bowman. If you just stuck with Bowman Chrome, Bowman Draft, I'm fine. But when you start doing lights and all this other stuff, force them to stop making that crap. Tell them, hey, you want the license with this? We have to prove your product. No, you could have X amount of parallels per thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I don't care what you number them out of, but that's it.
Yep.
And you really stick your guns to it to bring the market back up to where collectors are like, okay, I got red, orange, gold, green, blue, and purple. I think those were in regular refractors for the longest time. Now you don't have waves and speckles and shimmers and freaking mojos and freaking unicorns floating across your screen.
Oh, Troy, just thought of just think if they brought back, if they have 5-star football.
To me, Tops football would be basically Tops Chrome Bowman for me. I'd be my buy-ins. But just imagine Tops Dynasty football, Tops Dynasty basketball. Upper Deck had some of the nicest products out there with it all because you had SP Authentic, SP Game Used.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hell,
mean,
the Lettermans, like we were talking about.
mm-hmm. At the same
What?
time frame, guess what? You just brought Jordan and LeBron autos back in, and that could really either hurt or kill the market depending on how much they produce of it.
Didn't they have hardwood too?
Yeah, there was a product called Hardwood, but it was I got rid of it on last thing. It was just little blocks of hardwood in it. It was game used floor or something they called it. I'd have to go back. I don't have the card anymore. I sold it.
What was that collection that came out in the nice wood box, the big ass one?
That was masterpieces.
Masterpieces. Just imagine if they had a football and a basketball and a baseball masterpiece.
Well, it was all together into one.
It
All their
was,
sports
but
with golf and boxing and stuff.
yeah, but if you had everybody involved in that now, oof.
No, but Carrie just said the right thing. It's exquisite. It's what you really want for each individual sport. I think
There you go.
Masterpieces was great because you brought the top players of all those sports into one product. That was
Yep.
ideal. Exquisite is the one that everybody's going to pay big
Yep.
money on. No, I'm not collecting Desmond Bain. I know some people who are out after him, but I'm just not sold on him. There's very few players right now that I would put any money on the NBA, and most of them are established. If I was chasing people for the price value they're at now, I would, instead of me going to buy like a Bain freaking NT rookie, I'd rather go buy me a Curry auto. It's graded, but that's my thought process. If I
I
was
rather
younger in my 20s, maybe early 30s, I'd probably take a risk on one or two in there of it. But at this time frame, I'm more looking at stuff that's going to be set in stone for 10 years that I know that, it's going to be value down the road. I'm still not completely sold on, buying into Giannis right now. Is he a great player? He's good, but I think he's overhyped too, just because he won an MVP and he has a little ring and stuff like that there.
I'm looking at
People could
more like
argue that was
Curry.
during COVID. It doesn't really count. I mean, it depends on the buyer and seller.
I'm looking at Curry. I'm looking at Durant.
Durant's been a beast for years. People are just starting to realize it. I've been saying that now for over a year. When he got injured and was out that full season, I'm going to tell you what, Durant is a monster. If he comes back from that injury fully rehabbed, that's a bad dude. And look what he did with the Dream Team. It should have been called Durant Team. Oh man, there's so many different possibilities out there with if Upper Deck and Tops come back. And I think you get the more of the premier products. Now you have to worry because I think Fanatics is going to be like setting the price to where it's going to be off of their website. And unless you have a Fanatics like deal brand in one of your local stores, you're not going to be able to buy the product like how people get it now. You're going to have to still go buy from David Adams and all that other stuff. But, to me, I would rather pony up and buy a box or a case of Upper Deck Exquisite over freaking a case of NT basketball. That's me, though.
Yep.
Because I know Exquisite is going to have cards in it that NT can't produce.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it really will come into play. Now, if they do that, you have to imagine Upper Deck is going to destroy basketball because they have two players that nobody else can do, LeBron and Jordan. If they subcontract that out, those are the only two people, or that's the only company can use those two players for autograph purposes. And I believe for Jordan's even image and all that stuff is all strictly Upper Deck versus LeBron image can be used by, of course, Panini and stuff. But autograph wise, Upper Deck will crush with that.
They would, but you can't expect them to make 300,000 Jordan autos.
No, but even if you do them jersey number out 23 out of each of them, people will still pay big money to chase them because you know what? You're going to have probably a LeBron Jordan dual auto 10 and under. You'll probably have single autos 23 and under. So even if you say you produce 40 autos a piece per product, that's 80 autos. If they make 10,000 case, I don't know, 10,000 cases kind of a lot when I say that. 5,000 cases would probably be realistic. Your odds are very small in pulling one. Honestly, if I had to pick a player to put any money in right now, I would probably go with Cole Anthony. Just because of how he's situated on that team. Some people will say Maxey, but Joel Embiid comes back and you can already see Maxey's points per game. And it goes down because Embiid holds that ball to shoot more. I would probably put money into him if I was looking for somebody to gain value.
I say
That's just
Vassell.
me thinking off the top of my head. Now, I don't know how many people have already busted the bubble on Cole Anthony, but that's the first name that comes to my mind. I
Vassell
mean,
comes to mind.
would I spend $349 on the freaking Timberwolves or $99 of the Magic? Heck, I can get almost a full case of the Magic. Done.
Well, Vassell too. I think Vassell.
Yeah, Upper Deck owns NHL.
The Spurs are going to be cheaper in breaks.
Yeah, but that's the thing is Vassell, nobody pumps him. I mean, for somebody like him, it's going to take a lot more for the notice to get out there. You might never get him noticed until he gets out of his rookie contract. Dude goes signs with somebody like Boston or something, and then all of a sudden his stuff bumps up. I mean, if you really look at back in the day, man, Dwight Howard, when he came in the league, Kobe dunked on him. I mean, you remember the old picture, nuts in his face and all that stuff. Then what? They bring in Dwight Howard to play with him. The rumor comes out Kobe and freaking can't get along with big men, Shaq and Howard. Howard leaves after a year. They get in that little altercation. I think it was the next season or season after when he was with Houston. And Kobe's like, try me. I'll dominate you. You can't get in my head. And you're not going to see many players like that. Jordan was one, Kobe's another. I'd love to see another player come out there that had that mentality. And I would invest in him. If he was a real good, pure shooter, and his mentality was something like that to where they could back it up and they didn't do all the trash stuff that you see going on now. Yeah, I would go into it.
That's how I feel about Durant.
Durant's there in a way, but he's not mentality of Kobe and Jordan. No,
there's no killer instinct in the NBA. There's not a killer instinct. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. LeBron's not a killer instinct.
No, and him getting that little stupid elbow scuffle thing the other day, was it Isaiah somebody Stewart something like that? That didn't help him out. Even I've seen more people dogging him than anything, and I just never been a LeBron fan since he came out. I was more of a Kobe fan of them saying Kobe be the next Jordan than I was a LeBron and Jordan. Yeah. And it's only because I watched Kobe mature from being that young 18-year-old in the court until he hit about 25, 26-ish, somewhere around there. I was like, he's got that mentality. And before anybody started with all these videos that Kobe was getting help, talking with Jordan on mentality and learning this and that and everything else, you could tell. Iverson was decent.
Jimmy Butler has that don't get in my face attitude, but Jimmy Butler is holding himself back, I think. I think Jimmy Butler's already hit his peak, and he's not going to go anywhere else.
I don't either. What's up, Todd?
Steph Curry, I mean, he still has the ability to take over a game at any time.
To a point, but he's not. I don't put him on the same level as I would Kobe and Jordan.
He's not a killer instinct, but that guy can take over a game with one shot.
He could somewhat get better clutch and help take over a game, but there's a thing with the mind mentality. When you go out there, you don't let certain things hit you, and it takes a lot. And those two established themselves way. Like, did they ever get heated sometimes? Yeah. But sometimes that was their plan, too. Hey, he wants to make Space Jam 3.
Yeah.
I had a 10-year break collecting cards and couldn't. Oh, yeah. They still have him all over the place. And that's the thing. I mean, some people, like even with Larry Bird, he's real big where I'm at. So I'm right next to Indiana. That's why a lot of times I'll take chances in throwing cards in for grading because of where my location is. Cincinnati, hour and a half to the stadium.
French Lick, yeah.
Well, an hour and a half away to Cincinnati. So you got all the borough people down here.
No.
Indiana Pacers right up the road, all them. Then you got all the people like, oh, U of L, U of K, U of whatever else we got out
All Lamar
here.
Jackson because of Louisville.
I mean, it's split down here between Titans and Bengals a little bit, but the Bengals are more majority. Titans just like a 2.5 hour drive. But with the market down here, like if I'd have went crazy and bought Jonathan Taylor stuff before last year and before he got hurt this year, I could have made a buttload just because of the area I'm in, but I wouldn't have been able to sell it anywhere else. That's one thing I always tell people: you got to know your markets if you're going to do a lot of stuff, and especially where you're at. Now, if I was like when I was real heavy into Luca, and before I sold because of the big surge stuff, I could have went to like Dallas and I could have sold my Lucas out stupidly. All I do is the one selling for 7,000, 8,000, made 500 under comps, and somebody would have bought me out straight cash there. But
Oh yeah, I live here in Cali, and it's always a plethora of guys. Curry, Montana, and Rice still sell. Trout, Kershaw, Tatis, now LeBron. I mean, it's just you got all this. Herbert's getting bigger out here now. It's you still got your Raiders fans who are still with Derek Carr all over the place. So it's weird around here.
now, nobody take this in the wrong way, but we used to call ourselves this back, and some of you guys might have heard this, like early 2000s. We called ourselves Card Show Gypsies. What that meant is that we would go to a show in Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe next week we were up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Then we would bounce to like, say, Michigan and stuff like that there. But when you were at your show, say in Atlanta, I was selling all my Falcons and Thrasher cards and Hawk stuff, anything there that was local, mostly Brave stuff. Sell it out. I'd walk around and I'd be like, well, we're going up to Charlotte. Let's pick up some Jordan stuff because people in Charlotte love Michael Jordan. Go up there, you'd sell all your Jordan stuff, because everybody up there is selling it way over premium because that's the area. I would lower my price, sell all that stuff out, make some money, and I'd walk around. I'm like, we're heading up by Detroit next. And we would go to Detroit and I would be pounding anything that was Detroit related because I knew I could undersell what everybody else's prices were up there and still make a ton of profit. And people would laugh because they used to call us, they would say they're the Card Show Gypsies. It would go from all the different shows state-wise. And what you would do is you would go there with the intent to sell that whole home area stuff, buy for your next show there because nobody cared really about those cards. You can get a good deal. You take them, go up to the next area, and you'd keep floating. And I mean, if you wouldn't have had COVID during the bump, which killed a lot of stuff out there, just think about if you were doing that. You could have really made a lot of profit off of doing that stuff because, like, if I would have went to Dallas, sold out Luca, and I'd been like, man, nobody's touched the vintage market, and I'd have just bought all vintage there. And then I would have busted up, I would have said, oh, I'm going to sell my Jordans. They're stupid high. I went to Chicago, sold out all my Jordans, bought more vintage. And then all of a sudden, vintage went crazy stupid, sold all that out. You could have really made a lot of money. And just like, I'm going to sit back for a year or two, like till now. And you could pick up the stuff that you sold for 30, 40,000 for half the price. Yep. I know people who've done it. But yeah, I mean, it's all about a lot of it. You can look at it from a collector's point, but if you're going to try selling cards too, just at a regular basis, the best advice that people email me and stuff like that, I tell them, know your market. And I think I had to really explain to a couple, because when I say know my market, I'm thinking of all the aspects, not just, oh, well, the price on eBay, market price is this. No, know where you're going, what people are going to probably want there, especially from that area, sell, and then buy other stuff that you could move other places like that. And that's why you see like a lot of dudes, and I hate using this name, gosh, Sasha T and people like that there, to where they went out there and they did something similar to it, to where they were bouncing around, but you had other guys doing like stuff on YouTube. They were bouncing between like California, Dallas, Tampa. What's that one in Virginia called? You were telling me about? I can't remember the name now.
Chantilly.
Yeah, that show there, but they're bouncing between these shows doing the same stuff. Yeah, and if you do the card show shuffle properly, you could do well, but you're gonna have to spend a lot of money in traveling, and that's where they start trying to get their sponsorships and everything else, and to help pay for it. But back in the day, this is no joke. My buddy had a van. We used to go load up his van, everything we have, showcases, cards, and stuff, and we would just go for a solid 2-week vacation. And it was like you would go to like a Friday night show in Atlanta, and then we'd probably do a Saturday show in Atlanta, take out there. Somebody would drive the whole way to North Carolina and do the show there on Sunday. And then there might be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show that's up in like, say, Detroit or Cleveland or something like that. We'd go up there and sell. Then we'd come back. And then we would recycle all of our stuff. So we always had fresh stuff going to different shows. And that's the one thing I could say about my local shows. It's nothing's fresh. We see it all. The first time they brought in all these dudes from all over, it was like, oh, wow, you want to get this, this, this. Now you go back, it's the same people, it's the same cards. It gets bland. The Philly, yeah, there's another one. We used to do that one too, go up into the Philly area for a show. But we used to do that twice a year, to where we would do like 2 weeks of shows and stuff like that. I'd have to coordinate with my cycle breaks when I was in the Army for drill sergeant, and we would go do shows. Yeah, see, Theodore, that's the perfect thing right there. If you could do that at the same time, hopefully none of them dudes are like your PC guys, but you could really make a good, I guess the words flip or whatever out there, profit off this stuff. In return, you come back, you have some money in your pocket, you had a good time, you got like a vacation in. And the best is when you're a dealer at these shows, if you're by that door where everybody comes in, a lot of people don't like it. But as people come in, they want to sell stuff, and you're like one of the first people to see the stuff. And if they want to cut, like, hey, you take it all for this amount of money, you might have a heck of a deal right there. Yeah, there's a lot of shows there. When you start talking, it's $300-$500 a table, stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be bigger end stuff, but you're still going to have people that's going to bring their lower end stuff, because they're just not going to have one table. They're going to have 3 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 tables, because they're going to want to maximize their time and effort there. To me,
Yeah,
I'd almost rather do traveling and selling my cards than putting it on eBay at 13% freaking cost than shipping and worrying about everything.
Yeah, I need to get to a show soon whenever I can. It's been so
honestly
long.
With this new, they've now pronounced, I learned it's Greek, Omicron. That's the new COVID, Omicron. That's how it's pronounced. It's Greek. It's not Omicron or whatever they were calling it. It's Omicron. So
J-O-D?
with this, huh?
J-O-D?
The emphasis is not on the O, it's on the my, just so you know. I was taught this. Yeah. Hour and a half long class on this stuff. So yeah, trust me. It's yeah. Lovely.
Pronunciation 101 today?
No, that was a couple days ago. Horrible stuff you gotta listen to. But I mean, with all that stuff going on, I mean, I not to change the topic off of cards, but in the past 6 months, I've seen more Facebook posts of people that I know that have passed away from COVID than I did the first 18 months of COVID. So to me, I start thinking like, dang, man, this is kind of crazy now. Originally might have been one here, something like that. But now, oh, I don't know what he's sleeving up. Something had a blank back there.
Just some cards. Some baseball. I was looking some cards up. I bought a collection not too long ago. Just going through some stuff, and I didn't know this. I was looking. Just a random set. You remember the 93 Upper Deck Fun Packs?
Yeah.
Okay. The Ken Griffey Jr. card. Guess what the pop and PSA 10 are?
I don't know. 30.
10.
Hard card to grade. Centering on them was a crap load.
Yeah,
Plus your corners on them.
I'm sleeving them up. I'm going to look at some of these, and who knows? Might be coming to you for you to take a look at. The pop 10 Griffey card, low pop. You never know what could go crazy with the next craze that we have. Like here's the Griffey kicker.
One of the best yep, I remember those. One of the best ones is you'd have that guy walk up to your table, you'd look at everything, be like, how much you want for it all? And be like, and honestly, they would want something close to like eBay value, and you're like, I could go this route here, say 80% being nice. They would walk that whole show, come back, they'd sell the good stuff. I would come back to like, well, I still got this. You still interested in everything? I'm like, dude, you got rid of the good stuff. I'm down to this. If you really want to get rid of it, because it's going to take me work and effort to move this stuff. Nobody wanted it here. And it's just funny because they're like, well, I could go like, they would do something stupid like 40% value just to get rid of it. And I would scarf it right up. And I'm just dead honest. I mean, yeah, you have value there, but I got to take time and effort to move stuff that no other dealer in this show wanted after you walked around.
Yep.
And then occasionally I'd have that one person that would walk in and they'd be like, hey, I'm here. I talked to you. You interested in buying all this? I'm like, I am, but and I'd be dead honest. I'm like, if you move any of these cards here without, other dealers to come back with the rest of the stuff, there's not a value here for me to where I can move stuff. And they would look and they'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to take your offer. I'm like, all right, done. Because they know if you're upfront and honest with somebody, they're going to respect that more than you sitting there and playing the haggle game with them. I sit there and lay it out, especially with somebody that hasn't been in cards or just came into cards recently. I mean, there's been times where somebody came into cards and I'm like, you're selling them for how much? No, you need to send these off to be graded. Here, I'm going to build your thing up and send them off when they come back in. You go do this with them. You'll make way more money. It's pointless. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. When you don't take advantage of people and you're open and honest onto something, you'll make some good friends out there that'll send people to you with stuff. I mean, heck, that's how I ended up getting my Clemente rookie, because I linked somebody to a big, huge find. I didn't have that kind of crazy money. He did. He bought it. I just asked if I could buy one of the clean Clementes. He said, yeah, after I get through it all. Yeah, he super expressed it for me and gave it to me. Nice guy. I didn't expect it. I was like, well, what do I owe you? I mean, I might have to go on a payment program for this thing. How many people think the lockout's going to last a while? I'm just curious. In good old baseball.
I give it the middle of January. They'll get it done. They'll get it done right before Super Bowl, because spring training pitchers and catchers got to report in February. Guys will start showing up. They usually start showing up in January and February already. So they'll get it done quick.
I predict a lockout then into a strike because the players won't like what they get. The next thing we'll have is like a league of their own playing.
I don't know. I think it'll be done by the middle of January.
Oh, those are really odd secrets there, Theodore. It's just the way I was with people. I mean, if you had, we're just going to use this for an example. Say you came to my table and you had like Steph Curry autos and I don't know, some Jordan pieces and stuff like that mixed in with, various other cards. You were just a basketball collector. I give you a price of the whole thing. You then walk around, sell all the Curry and Jordan stuff, come back to me with the leftovers. I mean, I was offering the whole price because I knew what I could get on the Jordan Curries, and it would cover my cost to take time to move the rest of the stuff. And when you come back to the leftovers, I mean, it's just hard to move that stuff to try to sit there and find out, okay, yeah, I know somebody likes, say, David Robinson. I know somebody likes Jason Kidd. But it's just harder to move the certain stuff at the end. They say Kyler Murray ain't playing this weekend.
Really?
They scared. Yeah, they scared with that injury. They're playing it safe.
Well, I'll have to do some assessing on my fantasy team then. What about Hopkins? He coming back? Have you heard anything about D-Hop?
Nope. No idea. I won't know until Sunday when I look at my fantasy league if I'm going to end up being able to use them or not.
Daniel Jones is out.
Yeah, I saw that one. Neck Looks or good. Something like that.
Looks good for Miami now.
Could be.
I picked up Taysom Hill yesterday. I should have played him. I didn't. Playing Mahomes instead.
I'm just ready for a big old shootout between the Chargers and Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals.
I don't know. I had a conversation last show with a couple guys. We were talking about Joe Burrow. He's a good quarterback, but we think that Cincinnati did him wrong in a way to where he's not being used right. So we're all predicting that he's going to leave Cincinnati to a better team. Now, I'm not saying he's going to Pittsburgh Steelers or nothing like that, but we all think that he's going to end up being the one rookie quarterback that changes teams. At the same time frame, we also believe, and it is just to a group of us who are sitting around talking about Herbert, great quarterback, probably the best in the class. No arguing really on to it, even though when people start saying Burrow's close to his numbers. No, not really. Look how many 300 games Herbert has compared to him and stuff. Talk wins and losses, yeah, maybe. But Herbert stays on the Chargers, he will never win a Super Bowl. I agree with that. Because eventually they're going to pay Herbert money. Depending on how they do it, depends on how they can afford it. Their defense is horrible. I was joking around. We were like, pick a team that they would go to. People were like picking Houston, all these weird teams, right? I said, realistically, dude played for Oregon. I have a funny feeling that if Russell Wilson, he's expendable to Seattle in a way. If Herbert said, I'll come up there and play, I could see him doing it. And I mean, honestly,
I don't know. That defense is bad.
That
defense is just as bad as the Chargers.
They could fix it, though. A lot better than you could the Chargers could.
Now, me and my buddies were having some conversation about these quarterback situations. I keep saying Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the Niners next year. They'll trade Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think your Steelers take Jimmy Garoppolo. They'll probably get him for like a third or fourth rounder. They're not going to give up much for him. Aaron Rodgers will go to the Niners. They got like $14 million in cap space. They could sign him for 1 year, $10 million. Russell Wilson, he'll probably be out this year. I don't know what team would take his contract that big. Only team I can think that would take that contract that big would be Miami. I see him going to Miami. If they're in for Deshaun Watson, I think they'll be in for Russell Wilson. Joe Burrow, do I think Joe Burrow goes to another team? No. I think Joe Burrow stays there. He's got good weapons already there. Young, good weapons. Jamar Chase, Boyd. You still got Azuma, Mixon. They just got to make their defense better, which they can address in the draft or in free agency.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they brought in Jamar Chase, thinking that it would help keep Burrow there. 1 year difference between contracts.
Exactly.
So I still say Burrow leaves Cincinnati. I still think that, and I mean, I have a strong feeling Burrow leaves the Bengals after his rookie contract. I think Herbert is the type of guy that will stay with the Chargers, even though I think he'd be better suited to go somewhere else on a different team. And my thing was I picked Seattle out of them all. And I said if he could go to Seattle, this week, and it was a trade, Russell Wilson for him, I think that he would be having phenomenal numbers with Metcalf, Lockett, and everybody else up there compared to where he has numbers now. Now, granted, Keenan Allen, no slouch. Mike Williams has excelled in his position down there. They lost Hunter Henry, have Jared Cook. Okay. But I said, I just have a funny feeling if he would have to pick another team, if he could say you could go to any other team but the Chargers, who would you go to? I think he might end up taking Seattle. And I was thinking about his history with the Ducks and stuff up there. I don't know.
To me, the best suited team, if Herbert was to get traded, would be the Colts.
I don't know if he'd take it.
I think he would.
I don't know.
You got Taylor. Hilton's still there. Pittman's coming through.
Getting old. He's dependable, but
true. But
Pittman, you gonna say Pittman? You gonna say Pittman,
Pascal and Pittman. They've been going there. They need to get a better tight end, but their defense is still young and good. Jonathan Taylor is probably the second best running back in the league behind Derrick Henry. You got Pittman to start off with. Get him a nice little tight end. Get him another receiver, and out there, bump up that defense, their offensive line a little bit more. I think he would do good. Carson Wentz is excelling more than what we thought he would.
Wentz is excelling under somebody else's scheme that was built for him.
Exactly.
That knows him. There's a difference onto that.
I think Herbert would be great.
I don't know. I don't think that scheme or that way that they play up there with Wentz and it was built around him. I don't think Herbert would do well there. I don't.
I think he would be good in Tennessee.
I
can see Herbert being good in a couple teams. I can see him being good at Indy, Tennessee. I can see him being fantastic for Arizona. I could see him being. I mean, if Herbert would make 75% of the league better.
I don't know. It depends on the system and how they play. You got to remember, not every coach is going to understand when Herbert comes in their system and has to play. They're going to want to play their system. They're not going to tailor a system around Herbert, most teams. That's just a given fact. Unless there's some big push to shove that's saying, you're going to do this, like Vince McMahon type deal, walking out there and stuff. A lot of these guys, they'll try to tailor around them, but overall, it's the offense that they want to run. They find a quarterback that's to that. Would it be great? Maybe. Herbert to the Vikings. Oh, dear God.
Well, okay. That's a funny thing you say that. Kirk Cousins, I think, couldn't be traded. He was almost traded to the Niners at the deadline. Vikings said no.
I mean, honestly, with Dalvin Cook there, who's come around, as I said, if you remember last overtime, I said I had to pick two players. I picked Cook and I picked Wentz.
Cook's out. Cook's hurt.
It don't matter. Before he got out and hurt, I said, look at his numbers, look at his touchdown percentages. I guarantee he's going to go out there and put some points up. And he did.
I said
because he got hurt. Okay, he's out now.
But
if you look at the overall play since the last overtime when I brought that up, Both Wentz and Cook excelled in the next games.
I took Cousins. He didn't do bad. And I think, who did I take? Who was the other one I took?
I don't know.
Can't remember who I took the second one. I can't remember who I said. I said somebody.
Herbert to the Lions. That's a death to Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert to the Lions. Bye-bye. No. Poor Jared Goff. He's getting destroyed there.
Jimmy G better than Rudolph. He might be to a point, but I would rather the Steelers go out there, use Rudolph, get a high draft pick, and hopefully find a good quarterback in a draft. I would rather that than have somebody go out there that gets them, over a 500 win season, don't make playoffs, and I don't know. I would rather them draft higher.
I got three players that your team will probably aim for in the offseason. You're going to try maybe look for Jimmy G. Don't put Kirk Cousins out of there. I can see your team going for them. Pittsburgh. Or you guys are going to try for Russell Wilson. If Russell wants out, Steelers need a quarterback, and he's a very established one. It'd be a good fit.
I don't know. I don't see Jimmy G be probably the only possibility out of them three.
Well, he has a high contract. You'd be paying that big contract, and you'd probably be giving up a fourth rounder for him. Because Aaron Rodgers ain't going to go there.
I don't think his contract fits in the Steelers stuff right now because of what they've paid everybody else. It's still on there. Granted, they lose like Hayden and stuff like that next year off of it, but there's still some big money out there that they paid out. Yeah, I don't know if they could afford to have Russell Wilson on the team next year, because then if they have to start restructuring contracts, you start falling in the Big Ben freaking restructure program. It screws everything up. And I agree, Jody. I think they're going to look for something long term and not because why take a 30-year-old quarterback like Jimmy G when you could just tank and and try give Rudolph the horns if he sucks. Hey, goodbye Mason, and draft high, and maybe then you go out that next year with your high draft pick, find a quarterback for a year or two that kid could sit behind and watch and learn that the NFL games are so much quicker and how they play it. Maybe he does well.
Maybe you guys go after Goff.
Oh, yeah, Big Ben's done after this year. He is not coming back.
No, Ben's done, but I think Jared Goff would be a good idea for you guys. He's still young.
We don't want him. If we were taking anybody on our team, I was hoping they'd have pulled the Stafford thing. Stafford was a great quarterback up in Detroit. Look at the yards he produced and everything else. It was the Lions system. I think Stafford was very fortunate to go to the Rams in that deal. And when he did, I knew he was going to do well.
Actually, now that I think about it, the quarterback who I think is going to get moved will be Daniel Jones.
Oh, yeah, he'll get moved.
There you go.
We don't want Daniel Jones. No.
Oh, I'd go for Danny Dimes.
You could have him. Take him down to Trevor Lawrence. They could be buddies. They could switch off every quarter.
That's fine. You can go after Deshaun Watson if he'll ever play again.
We won't touch him. We already had our reconstruction project named Mike Vick. No, I think they're going to go for draft.
Matt Ryan. He's probably going to be on the move.
I mean, if you draft high, take Matt Ryan for a year or two. Let the kid learn.
Jameis Winston will be available. He has a 1-year deal.
Like I said, if they can get a high draft pick and they can get the quarterback they want, I'm fine with them pulling somebody up like that for a year or two and letting the kid underneath the watch and learn.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you sign somebody like, oh my gosh, I want Jameis Winston on my team for 5 years. No.
No. If you got Matt Ryan, that'd be good. for like 2 years to teach the young kid. I agree. Matt Ryan, he's a good quarterback.
I think that what is this?
I've always
I
been a
think
Matt
that if
Ryan fan.
they utilize, you see where your draft pick is this year. If you can't land, so I don't think this quarterback class coming up in this draft is very good. People are talking about the pick quarterback, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I think that Mariota. But I think
What
that
about Drew Lock, who's just sitting there doing nothing?
I mean, you could take a chance at it, but you don't go out there and grab like Jimmy G or somebody that has multi-years for mega millions. What you do is you find somebody cheap, throw them in there. If it doesn't work, you get the high draft pick and you hope that you can pull yourself a decent quarterback out of the draft. I mean, look at whenever Ben came out there. I mean, he was the third quarterback taken at pick 11. So, I mean, if you could pull something like that again to where somebody's going to be stable for that long, yeah. I mean, Ben almost would really had to start his rookie year after I think it was like the fourth game or something like that, maybe fifth, because you had Ty Maddox go down and then no joke. Here comes Charlie Batch in. Next play, boom, Charlie Batch is out.
No, Raiders aren't going to get rid of Derek Carr. He's still young and he's still producing there. They're not going to get rid of Carr.
Honestly, I would take Carr in Pittsburgh. I would. I like that how you think there, Jason. I like that.
Rodgers ain't going to go to the Raiders. Rodgers wants to go to the Niners. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know why Derek Carr won't leave. Because Devontae Adams is going to be a free agent. And Devontae Adams already said two things. Either I'm playing with Aaron Rodgers or I'm playing with Derek Carr, who was my quarterback in college. And what do the Raiders need? A number one receiver.
Well, if he don't get either, what's he going to do? Quit football?
Who?
What if he doesn't get either of those choices? He's going to quit football?
You think the Raiders aren't going to go after Devontae Adams?
Just saying, what if they can't?
They
can't
will.
Afford him?
They can afford him. They'll go after him. They ain't got no big number. They ain't got no big time player in them. Besides Carr.
So what he just said, Rodgers goes to the Raiders. There goes Devontae Adams with him. Why can't Carr go to Pittsburgh?
Because the Raiders aren't going to trade Carr. Your Steelers are not going to take that big of a contract. He has a huge contract.
I said I'd take it, though.
Yeah, the Steelers ain't going to do that. It's a huge contract.
I don't know. That might be one of their best options, to be honest, though. If that came open, I wouldn't be against it at all.
Andy Dalton, throw him to the Wolves and get the draft pick. No, if you're going to do that, you might as well just get Nick Foles.
No, my luck, they get Nick Foles, they win a freaking Super Bowl or something. Heck
Probably.
No. 1 year wonder again. No, we ain't having that happen. It'd be my luck. I mean, honestly, I'd give somebody out there a chance. That wouldn't be Nick Foles. It would not be him. But, I mean, it depends on how they want to play it this year. I mean, the rest of the season for the Steelers is going to be bad. Horrible. Horrible.
You might get Teddy Bridgewater.
Hopefully for 1 year only.
He's a 1 year guy.
We all just can't have the number one draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, on our team, though.
That's fine.
I mean, to me, if out of all those scenarios they're all talking about, I would be fine with Carr coming to Pittsburgh, honestly. With that scenario, I would be. Dak, I have no idea with Dak. I wouldn't want him. 19.7, that's pretty much Ben numbers. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's not horrible when you start looking at what Mahomes got making per year.
If it's 19.7, I mean, you still got to pay. Well, you guys just got done paying TJ Watt. You guys going to have to pay Devin Bush.
He won't be anything crazy. Devin Bush is not an all-star player on the team.
No, you guys are going to have to. You guys need to pay for some offensive linemen.
I say that if they do that, they're going to draft the linemen. Get them young so you don't have to pay them. Hopefully they pan out.
Yeah, Carr won't want to go to Pittsburgh. I think he probably has no trade clause. He's only going to go to certain teams anyways. I don't think Pittsburgh's one of them.
He really doesn't have a bad contract at all.
Plus, Carr's been doing well with the Raiders. Raiders are going to go hard after Devontae Adams.
Oh, they could trade up for a pick too. But I just don't see a quarterback in this next draft, though, that in 2022 that's going to be like, oh my gosh, we need to trade up and get this dude.
Well, no,
I mean, unless that dude from Pitt is really legit, I don't watch a whole lot. But everybody I talk to from back home is like, the Pitt quarterback's great. He's going to be good. But then again, these are the same people I grew up with Terrell Pryor went to Jeanette High School down the road from us. I swore up down Terrell Pryor was going to be good too. So you see how much they have in my influence on the kid from Pitt.
Well, there's rumors going around that Baker may be gone after this year. They didn't pick up his 5th year.
Yeah, maybe he is gone. I don't know. I don't think Baker is the player he was made out to be, but he's still young enough that if you actually just don't go out there and buy players to put around him, thinking it's all going to be patched together and good, and build a team and a playbook around with what he's good at, maybe. I mean, we're not going to see another Tom Brady come out probably for the rest of our lives.
Adams can't go to the Niners with them. There's no way they can afford both. No way. Because they so Devontae Adams is coming, but they're going if they want Devontae Adams, they don't have the cap room to put both of them on there. Adams is he wants the money. He either wants to get paid or he wants to play with Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr. If Rodgers goes to the Niners, there's no way they can pay Devontae Adams. No way. Because they got Deebo Samuel's contract coming up. Deebo Samuel is a free agent after the 2023 season. When 2023 hits, he's a free agent.
I'll tell you what, though, the Steelers really are not too bad of a shape. I mean, other than their big, huge cap on TJ Watt next year. Let me just look, because I think that shrinks in 2023.
What about Mika Fitzpatrick?
I don't know if they'll – hold on, I want to look here. Yeah, his stuff goes down each year, TJ Watt. Okay. That's what I thought. They front-loaded that one.
What about Fitzpatrick?
Minka Fitzpatrick's last year is next year. He's $10 million a year. I mean, will he stay? I don't know. Now, I will tell you this, though. Big Ben still has a signing bonus that's due to him next year when they restructured his contract and everything. And what's bad is, see, he's still on the books for next year, the $10 million hit against us, okay? So that's why I really was thinking, when you think about it overall, you just use whatever you can get to patch together, because in 2023, I mean, realistically, the people that you still are in your contract could be Hayward and Watt for your defense. They're going to start getting old. You'll still have Najee Harris under a rookie contract and Claypool. But if you can start building around that, you might be able to do something offhand. I mean, I don't know. But just by looking off of their salary cap for next year, I mean, they can really trim some fat off out there with some of this stuff.
Well,
I mean, like, for one, Ebron's not under contract next year. Ebron's gone. You got Freiermuth in there for one. So that's like already almost $4 million. Say, I think it's like 3.9. Juju's gone. We don't need Juju. So, I mean, but I think for some reason he still carries a stupid cap hit next year. I can't remember why.
Who?
Juju.
No, he's a free agent.
Yeah, but for some reason, I think somehow they worked something to where part of his pay comes out next year.
See, Ben, that $10 million that's on there for Ben, that's a roster bonus, but he's not going to be on there, so they'll get that.
Well, no, it's a signing bonus that they're still incorporating into it for
Oh,
next
then
year.
he'll get that.
So when you have that signing bonus of 2.5, the dead cap, which your cap hits 10.3 million, same with Juju, it's 1.4, which is hitting them at 5.6, and same thing with Ebron. But and that's because of the way they structured all that crap, which really hurts them now. It really, really does. Hey, April, what's going on? I just happened to flip back on the other thing here.
Hey, April. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who your team goes for. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks going to be available next year. I'm telling you that right now. To me, I would try and just patch something for 1 year, then go after your quarterback.
Well, that's the thing is that deferred money kicks them in the butt next year because like total deferred money is 20 million. And that's why I just say let Mason take the realm next year. It's going to be ugly. It will be. But that following year, you're talking, you have like 120 million in cap space to rebuild around. Plus, you're going to have your draft next year and that year too. You could do pretty well. It's just going to be a hard next year, and the fans are just going to have to suck it up and take it. You can't have a win mentality every freaking year. Win now, win now.
You think Tomlin's gone after this year?
No.
I do.
Okay. I don't.
I think he leaves when Ben leaves.
Nope. He'll stay. He will stay. As a matter of fact, I think he just re-signed a new contract. Pretty sure he did.
Hey, Greg, what's up, man? Any Waddle stuff? Nothing major. I have just some absolute rookies, nothing big. I haven't been getting much.
April this year, he just signed a new contract. I thought so, through 2024.
Yeah, well, I like Tomlin. I would love to have Tomlin. We're gonna get
to you in a heartbeat.
We're gonna get a new coach anyways. God forbid, and we don't even know who.
What's up, Greg? I don't have any Waddle stuff. I'll tell you that now.
Maybe we get Pete Carroll.
Hey, you're shooting high with 2 wins there.
Well, if you guys play Jacksonville twice, there's your 2 wins.
Well, 1 we're not. So, freaking 6 of our games are just in there between Cleveland, Cincinnati, and the Bengals, or in the Ravens. Just, yeah, I think 2 wins is gonna. If they hit 2 wins with Mason under there, it'd be pretty impressive with the team they're gonna have.
It don't matter. My team's a ball of shit, so it doesn't really matter about my team. Emmitt Smith was Tom Brady the GOAT. Now the GOAT, I don't know about Emmitt Smith being the GOAT. Emmitt Smith may be the all-time rushing leader, but I don't know.
No, Greg, not that I know of. The plan with good old Nat Turner, you never know what the heck that dude. Well, actually, he moved out of there, wasn't it? Wait, somebody moved out of there recently. Was it Sloan?
Sloan, yeah, he's gone.
Oh, Sloan moved out. Nat Turner's Collector's Universe mostly. He's under the PSA umbrella somehow. No, I don't think that. They were supposed to. If it doesn't release next full week, I wouldn't say till January. I think their plan is to keep pushing and not to interfere with people's holiday rush. I mean, honestly, next week I got to pick up Mountcastle Topps Chrome Orange from redemption wise, and I got to go spend the 150 to get that back in a week. Yeah, I think Sanders was probably pretty elite. I mean, you start thinking about him, Jim Brown, stuff like that out there.
I think Earl Campbell.
But see, the thing it sucks is when you start comparing people with different generations, the game was played different or different rules and everything. So it's hard to always debate that stuff. I mean, yes, Barry and Emmett were close with it when they started and played and stuff. So yeah, kind of, sort of in a way. But I think
Emmett
it was 2 or 3 years difference in there with when they both started.
No, 1 year. Barry Sanders was 89. Emmett Smith was 90.
Oh, I think Smith came in 91 for some reason.
No, 90. But the difference between them is Cowboys had one of the elitist offensive line. Barry Sanders had no offensive line. He's the running back who holds the record for most negative yards because he had to backtrack so much because his offensive line sucked. And the Cowboys had Troy Aikman. You know who was the best quarterback that Barry Sanders had? Scott Mitchell. No defense. Cowboys had Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek, just loaded everywhere. Lions were never loaded. I think Barry Sanders' best teammate was Herman Moore. Barry Sanders did more with less. Emmitt Smith was just blessed to have that good of an offensive line his whole career. And he didn't even beat the record in a Cowboy uniform. He did it with a Cardinals uniform. From which Brady, he's won every year. He just won a Super Bowl with another team. I mean, comparing Emmitt Smith to Tom Brady is just the GOAT in football all around. The GOAT. Emmitt Smith may hold the record for the most rushing yards, but do I think he's the best running back of all time? No. My favorite running back of all time, Walter Payton. Payton to me was a bad man. Yeah. Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson both left in their prime. That's bad.
Good old Megatron.
Exactly. You stop Barry Sanders, Lions game's over. But if you stop Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman can still play with Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek, James Jett, whatever other wide receiver they had, Alvin Harper at that time. And their defense was still good. You had Darren Woodson on there. You had Deion Sanders at one time. You had Ken Norton Jr. You had Charles Haley. You had Leon Lett. You had you had a all-star team.
What they built.
The Lions are just they're cursed. But that's one thing I can say about the Cowboys. They are consistent about having a good offensive line. Zeke's
Comes
had
and
good years.
goes.
Hell, even Darren McFadden had good years.
Everybody's time comes and goes. It's the
Marion Barber.
way.
Marion Barber had good years on that team. I mean, Felix Jones had good years. Cowboys always have had a good offensive line. Tony Pollard's doing good this year. Zeke's just hurt.
Didn't realize the pug came under me. I don't know when she came in here.
Ninja.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm like, what to move my foot? And I'm like, is that the cat? And it's the pug under me. And I'm like, well, I can't even readjust the way I am because of her.
You went ninja on you.
No, usually she's upstairs with my mom. And every now and then she'll come down in the evenings because it gets hot up there for a little bit. And she'll roll down here and sleep. And then she'll get up and,
DeMarco Murray, yeah.
Mm.
You know why we have Lions games on Thanksgiving? Because that's the only time you're going to see them on national television. So they want the spotlight.
Oh, they get a Monday night football game every year, too. Everybody does, part of the contract.
Just saying. Lions games every Thursday because they know. But Monday Night Football is now on ESPN. It's not on regular TV.
Well, still was back then. Oh, ESPN's really started part of every package. And way the ways would now with the internet and stuff, you don't even need cable TV to watch all the football games.
Thursday Night Football, too, which they didn't get rid of. I wish they would get rid of Thursday Night Football and have one Saturday night game to start the weekend off.
See, the issue is they start doing Saturday night games, though. You'll start competing with the boxing and the UFC fights, too. And that's why they probably won't ever do it. Minus the wild card games, because that has more hype to it. Think about it. If you had a Saturday night game of freaking Detroit and some other sucky team, the Jets, okay, Jacksonville, there you go. How many people are going to tune into that on a Saturday night when you have USC and boxing going on? Heck, I'd rather go watch freaking what's his name? The freaking YouTuber Jake Paul fight here on the 18th and watch a Saturday night game of two scrub teams. This same way Thursdays,
I'm gonna watch that for Mike Tyson to destroy him.
That was Logan Paul.
And he's gonna get thumped.
Did they actually sign a deal?
Uh-huh.
When did that go down? Because I haven't seen anything on it.
A couple of days ago. It's going to be in February. Tyson is going to eat that boy up.
Jake Paul is fighting an actual boxer from, I think it's England. And the dude has a pretty good record, too. So it'll be his first test.
Logan Paul, I don't care. Mike Tyson may be 55 years old, but oh my freaking God. Go look at his videos of him training. Oh, the boy's still got it. He's still a bad man. I saw that and I was like, oh my God. His combos are just still deadly. His punches are, oh my God. There's still so much anger and force in those punches.
It doesn't say they signed anything yet. It just talks about how Tyson on his TikToks and stuff like that, warning Logan Paul he'll kill him, and how Logan and Jake Paul accused of conning boxing fans with fighting careers and all that. But there's nothing saying they're signed for a February fight.
Oh, I was reading something. I can't remember where I read it, but I saw that they were supposed to fight in February.
There was about a month or two ago, they were talking about Tyson wanted to fight him in February, but it was never confirmed onto it.
Well, Logan kept on saying he wanted to fight Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson finally agreed to it. I think it was a couple days ago.
If it was, it'd be all over the stuff here, and there's nothing on it.
Tyson fights Logan. Oh, oh. Go look at Tyson right now, just working.
Oh yeah, Frank Gore's doing that boxing match here in the 18th too, Troy. It's
Oh yeah,
he's on the undercard for the Jake Paul fight.
yeah, Frank Gore. Yep, that's right.
I think he had a 3 or 4 rounder fight. I was looking at this stuff because it was on. I was looking because I knew I was like, man, none of the Pauls have fought for a while. They gotta be hyping something up. And I went on ESPN and started looking at the fights, and I'm like, well, who's on this undercard for Showtime? And I saw Jake Paul. Let me see if I can find it here. Schedule. All right, there's so December 18th. Yeah, in Tampa, Florida, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Fury's the actual boxer. And that's Tyson Fury's like brother, cousin, or something in the Fury family.
Yeah.
Darren Williams versus Frank Gore.
Darren Williams, the old basketball player.
I'm guessing that's who it is.
Yep.
It's only 4 rounds, heavyweights. I mean, the other names, I don't know who Anthony Taylor and Chris Avila are. I probably Google them and figure them out, but the 4-rounder ones are the ones that are like the special attraction fights, which I'm really surprised Jake Paul and Tommy Fury's 8 rounds. Really surprised on that one. I really think Tommy Fury's going to take Jake Paul's head off.
I think Tyson kills Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson.
It depends. If it's as much as they do with the Floyd Mayweather fight, where Mayweather looked like crap going out there and it was all more of a public stunt, which nobody will admit to it, I could see that in a way, but I also see Tyson. I don't know, man, because it depends which Tyson enters in that thing.
Tyson don't take boxing lightly.
Well, look at the last Tyson fight, though.
Yeah, he did Roy Jones Jr., and he looked good still.
He looked all right in there, but I mean,
I don't care.
He was looking gassed a lot too, Tyson.
I don't care. Well, yeah, because it was his first fight. He's going to be able to train for this, but I'm going to tell you right now, Tyson reminds me of Jordan and Kobe. Killer instinct.
Yeah, bite your ear off.
You can't take it out of them. You can't.
James Buster Douglas sure did.
Hey, that's fine. But Logan Paul against Mike Tyson.
Just imagine Logan Paul becomes James Buster Douglas and has that one lucky punch that lands and knocks Tyson out.
I don't even think he gets a shot.
Never know. You never know with that stuff.
Mayweather was different because Mayweather tires you out. He's a longer. He takes the rounds. Tyson's a knockout artist.
I don't think Mayweather was really there for the fight. He was there for the money, the way he was.
Yeah. But Tyson, he ain't worried about the money. He wants to put on a show. He likes Jake and Logan Paul. He tells him, he goes, "Hey, I like what you guys are doing. You guys are bringing more attention to the boxing sport. I respect that." But then he's going to be like, "Okay, but I'm going to box, and it ain't going to be easy."
And see, that's the thing I'm worried about, Daddy Waffles, there is that Tyson may be like, oh, buddy gets in that thing and he has some type of, we'll call it PTSD moment, and he snaps. I mean, he's done it in the past, bite your ear off or something, I don't know, but
I want to see it. I want to see him bite his ear off. Go for it. Go Evander Holyfield on him. I want to see Tyson go nuts. I want to see Tyson. I just want animal. Killer.
At his age right now, how old is Tyson? 50 something?
55.
I mean, honestly, kudos for him for stepping back in the ring and probably doing it to get some money that he needs, somehow, some way. But
Oh, Chris, you're in Australia, huh? Nice to meet you, man. I'm in Australia, but I've only been a resident for 47 years here, and I'm 54 and still a England poppy citizen. I love to live in the USA. Mom and dad chose the wrong place to move to. Tell you right now, America's great 70% of the time.
I don't know. I visited Australia for a month, and I'll tell you what, I had fun there. But I also get what you're saying because I lived in Hawaii for 4 years. You start hitting that island mentality too, even though Australia's a little bigger in Hawaii,
Yeah.
especially all the little islands on Hawaii. But I get your point because, there's only so much you could do in one spot there. I mean, I got it. I really do.
Yeah, Charles, it'll make it to the ring because Tyson knows what they're gonna do. They're gonna trash talk. They always have. Tyson's just gonna go like this. He's just
Okay,
gonna
go ahead
let
and
it
let
go.
somebody say, I got your hat and see what happens there.
Tyson's
He
gonna be
might
like
laugh.
this.
You might have a Tyson that
Tyson would
laughs
laugh.
it off when he got his hat. I don't know.
Tyson
It
would
depends
laugh.
on which shrooms he eats that day. You got to remember, Mike Tyson has appeared on Logan Paul's broadcast of Impulsive. He smashed shrooms and ate them right there like a huge chunk.
Yep.
If Tyson's going to fight him, it's going to have to be in like Puerto Rico or somewhere because of all the stipulations. I mean, if you guys have not seen it, I guarantee if you go on YouTube or Google and put in Tyson and Jay on Logan Paul on Impulsive with mushrooms, it's crazy the amount of shrooms he just chows down and eats right there.
It's like this big. He just goes, eats them all.
No, it's a whole stack of little mushrooms.
Yeah, it was the mushroom stems.
Oh, I don't remember what. I just remember it was a big old stack because I remember the one guy on there was like, so I just eat this little stuff. He goes, no, watch. And I mean, he was chowing down on them like they were crunchy freaking cookie crisp.
Theodore, I don't mess with eBay no more. Hey, cheers, Chris. No, I don't fuck with eBay no more. Excuse my language on that. eBay is too toxic.
Theodore, I mess with eBay, but I use somebody called DC Sports to do all the work for me.
I do too.
I ain't playing with them.
Nope.
And I mean, if you start giving stuff out there, and I'll tell you where you see your biggest returns because of what they have with their deal with eBay, is the cards itself for like over 100, over 1,000, stuff like that. I mean, you make a lot more money than you would on your own with your own account with all that stuff. But I really stopped using eBay completely. If I can't sell it on my slabs or on one of the groups I belong to or the show, I'll say to DC, he could sell it for me out there.
If I can't sell on my slabs or through one of my auctions or with the auction we have with us, goes DC. I don't mess with eBay because I don't like the return policies. I don't like it feels like you have no control on eBay of anything. None. And I don't like
win, but you got to be very, very good with what you do on there. And it's gotten a lot worse over the years.
And the non-payers, and then just to haggle back and forth, and the shipping of it all. Everyone's just so particular and meticulous on what they get. It's just, no, I won't. I don't deal with eBay no more. I'd rather send it to DC. I'll pay their fees. They take care of the shipping. They take care of anything happens to it. They take care of it. I'd rather pay them the fees and make sure it's good than have to deal with it myself.
Facebook, and they're all ages on there. You could never tell because half the times they're fake pictures that are taken of other people they're putting on their accounts. I mean, there's dudes that I've known that have been scammers for, 10 years plus. They just keep coming back, and until somebody actually does something about it, I'm not saying go to their house and beat them up, but court-wise, they just keep doing it. I remember there was this dude named Vinny. He was out of New York. Man, Vinny was the most famous dude on Facebook for being scammers. Like, he would change his stuff and freaking, he had all these great cards that he scammed people on. He went to a show, I believe it was in New York too. And he was at a table with all these other people's cards he scammed out of. Somebody started busting them out on a video. And what's funny is the dealer didn't care because he was getting a great deal. And it just made it all look real, real bad.
Theodore,
Yeah, that's the other thing with it. They do that.
give DC a shot. They're really good. I've been using them this year, and I've had zero complaints, none.
I mean, as long as you follow their guidelines and what they want you to send in. I mean, you can't just send in dollar cards and stuff. I mean, honestly, if your card sells for like $1, you're only going to get like 4 cents back out because of listing fee and all that other stuff. Yep. But when you start sending in, like relic and auto cards, if you got like 100 auto cards that you can get anywhere from $5 to $10, you'll get a good stack at the same time frame. You have to waste your time doing all the shipping, buying the bubble envelopes, the tape, and all that stuff. They do it all for you. To me, it's really, I've used them now for well over probably a year, 2 years maybe now. And I've never had an issue with them on anything. And now everything's done through their websites. So you could track it. Before it was all through Facebook. You used to have to message Zach for payouts. It's all on there. I mean, you request a payout. Normally you're going to get it the same day. I mean, unless you do it after your business hours, then you'll probably get early the next morning. But
yeah,
I think the longest I've ever waited for a payout, maybe
2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah, I was gonna say about 2 hours, maybe 3.
And it goes.
And that's during business hours. There's times that I've sent them stuff at like 7 in the morning, and by like 8, my phone's going crazy saying payment from DC Sports. I'm like, whoa, they're early.
Yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, if you don't want to have the hassle of all that stuff, now they start all their stuff 99-cent auctions and stuff. And I think if it's under 20 cards over like a $20 or $25 value, it gets posted 25. Up in 3 days. And then anything over 20 cards, it's like about 2 weeks till it gets on there. And usually, but it might be early, a day or two early. A lot of people use them. I mean, he's been around for a while. A lot of his staff, his family, some of the guys that he did bring in were guys from like his, I don't want to say his break groups, but it's been around for a while with breaks and stuff. And he knows them. Brought him in he's always hiring too. So if you're in the Virginia area down there, I think it's Glen Allen.
Yeah.
They're always looking for people to hire for sorter and shippers down there and stuff. Oh yeah, I think we have. I've dumped mine all the time. I dumped a whole crap load on DC Sports in the past couple months.
Yep.
I mean, when you start looking at cards were $150 and now they're $30, $40 as PSA 10s, people got smart. And the only reason people got smart is because people talked about it. And then they found people's videos or people telling them. I mean, otherwise, if we didn't have like the age of the power of the internet and the freedom of speech and people blurting stuff out and showing facts, people probably still be buying stuff that way, and they'd be foolish because eventually people learn. I mean, before I'm going to use like the age of the internet, like 2014 through 18, it was like select groups of people that, communicated together, stuff like that there. Nobody really used YouTube for sports cards unless they were like hosting their breaks on it and stuff like that. Eventually, time started evolving with it. And then, it was kind of like wrestling where you have kayfabe and stuff like that there. Don't talk about this on the internet. Well, then all of a sudden people, I guess you could say, drop pipe bombs like CM Punk because, you just get tired of seeing people losing their hard-earned money on stuff. But yeah, I think we are in a massive dump. I really do. And to me, I mean, it's certain things that I've been holding because of either one, I know I'm going somewhere and I can move it there at a better value. Like soccer, I've told people I've been on soccer now for like the last year because of the World Cup coming up. But as soon as the World Cup starts, DC will have a big old package from me again to move all my soccer stuff that I don't plan on keeping. I mean, if I had Holland autos and crazy parallel rookies and stuff like that there, Pulisic and Mbappe, stuff like that there, I'd probably think twice onto it. But at the same time frame, I also have this mentality in my head. Am I really that big into this player to where I want to hold it for a long time? Or would I rather receive maximum value of it and maybe, pay to remodel my bathroom? So I have like, when it comes to me with stuff like that, personally, when I look at stuff, I look at way different than just buying, investing, and reinvesting. I mean, if you look when I sold all my Lucas and stuff like that back when the hype was there and certain other players, Zions and all that, I still gotten breaks in that, but I didn't go dump all that money back into cards high value. Like, oh my gosh, I got to hurry up and go buy me a Topps Chrome Refractor LeBron for 40,000 before they hit 80,000. Now they're what, 20, 25,000?
Well, here's a good example. During the hype, this card was ballistic. The John Morant red, white, and blue prism. And a quad 9.5. Probably during the hype was probably what highest, maybe what, 800, 1,200 bucks, maybe.
Oh no, I didn't own one and didn't look for them.
You know how much I paid for this now? Take a guess.
Well, Beckett's a lot lower in PSA. I'm guessing about 200.
160.
Yeah, that's close. Not bad.
Yeah, I paid 160.
Without me judging with the Morant hype and stuff, I was just thinking out loud.
Yeah, but I paid 160 for it. But if I had bought it during the hype, like everyone was saying, oh, Morant, buy Morant. It's a big rookie. Buy them all. Like Zion's, buy them all. I would have lost my ass if I bought it then. I just sat back and waited for a long time, and then I waited till the market fell down, and I was like, all right, cool, now's the time to grab one. I've always wanted one. I got one.
Well, Theodore, dealers are still buying, but you're not going to get anywhere value unless it's something super hot and rare. No way onto it. And I can tell you now, no matter what the price tag is, the first thing, somebody goes, well, how much will you, how low will you go on? How much will you take on it? That's always everybody's first thing. There's no opening talk like, hey, how you doing? Hey man, that Luca, what do you take for it?
What's your bottom price on this? What's the lowest you'll go?
Yeah, I don't play that game, and I tell them that off the bat. What's the highest you'll pay for this? What do you mean? What's the highest you'll pay for this? And I'll tell you if I'll sell it to you or not. I reverse it on to them. It's the best way to do it, because that was the bad thing about YouTube is you had guys going to these shows showing that they're hustling and doing all these crazy deals like that and talking like that. Well, it might be working for them, but there's certain people that have stuff. You come to the table doing it, they're just going to blow you off. What's the highest you'll pay? Nope. What if I buy all three of these? What's the best you could do? Nope. Add all the sticker prices up. That's the best I can do. And they move on to somebody else. Do you lose a sale? You do. But at the same time frame, you don't have to finagle with them and everything else. And all they're going to do is go tell their buddies about you, and you're not going to put up with their craziness when they come around. That, they'll all come by. What's the lowest you do? I'd rather somebody come up to me, and if I have a $500 card and say, hey, man, would you take $450 on this, than somebody saying, what's the lowest you'll go? Because my comeback, and this is just me, is what's the highest you'll pay? And then they just stare at you because they're dumbfounded by that question. Oh, overproduction is horrible, Jody. That's why a lot of people are having issues playing Mosaic today. A lot.
Yeah, you don't see me running out and getting any breaks or buying any.
I told you, hobby only is the only thing I look for. There's very few things that aren't hobby only that I'll get into. $5 slab boxes are coming with ultra modern Jeff Wilson tell people to invest in all the crap he pushed. That's exactly it, because he wanted to gain that YouTube algorithm to get a YouTube revenue to fund his stuff, start his business up, make whatever he calls it, freaking Jeff Wilson's card ladder watcher thing. Was it Market Mover Watchers or something?
Market movers.
And that's the thing is, it's all about the money when it comes down to that.
Oh.
And, I got some people want to make a business out of it. That's the way it always has been. You're either business or collector, or you could try to go both ways. It's very, very, very hard. I still have hard times with it to this day. I'm like, oh man, I really want to keep this card. But I'm like, I have to sit in my head and be like, I'm not even collecting this, dude. It's a great card to own, but why am I holding this? It has nothing to do with me emotionally and stuff like that there. I'm like, and my issue is I don't even have probably 80% of my cards here, maybe even higher. They're sitting in safety deposit boxes 40 minutes plus from me, just so I can't have the urge to do anything dumb with them. And it's I'm right. Nobody has any reason to do anything dumb trying to break into my house. But, that's always been my issue, because I'll sit there. I'm like, man, I just got this. And I don't see nothing else that I own because of that reason. I'm like, I got to keep this. You have some people want to collect every card out there. Oh, I don't have one of this dude or this dude and stuff like that there. Or I don't have this card yet. Well, to me, that's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. When you start doing that, you hurt yourself, unless you're like some PSA club registry and you're like, got to have every rookie card out there for the registry as a 10 because that's your thing. That's fine. But to me, I will not go out there and just have to have one of everybody out there or 10 of everybody, or I got to collect all the rookie cards of every class because it'll hurt. Oh, yeah, Market Mover. See, I was right.
See, what's funny, I collect these, my rookie autograph autos. I got the Chipper. I'm doing the Chipper Jones Rainbow. I'm one more, and it'll be coming back to me. But it's something I collect, something I've been collecting before I got into grading. Plus, I know they do hold value still.
Charles, you just gave away one of my secrets. Shame, shame, shame. Just kidding. Charles, if you want some Pokemon, let me know, because I still got some booster boxes over here. And I'm about to get a crap load of more stuff in. I mean, I do open some of the stuff up for myself every now and then. But normally, I just been picking up the cards, or if I win like the box in a Raz or something, I'll open it up for fun. And then I take all the cool art cards and wait to send them off one day. But yeah, I mean, there's some crazy stuff coming out. They've been offering back buys on last year's products too. I don't remember the two names, something like Vivid Electric or Vivid something and something else. But yeah, I think that a lot of people are going to start pushing to where product's affordable and you can have fun with it again versus spending $800 to $2,000 a box pulling crap. And you do that a couple times, dead. When I could go buy a case of Pokemon boosters for probably, I don't know, we'll just say a nice one's like $120 a box, $1,200. I could have a field day opening that stuff. I've actually started venturing more in hockey. What's that?
I just don't know which one to get.
You never do. I still don't know what's in what. I have to ask my old distributor all the time. I'm like, dude, what do I want? When I get the order and my new distributor doesn't really know Pokemon, I have to ask the old. I'm like, dude, do I want any of this? Of course you do. I'm like, no, what's the chase in it? Oh, it's Pikachu or Charizard or Shadow Rider or VX.
That's the thing. I can't get into Pokemon because I don't know which ones to get into. I don't know nothing.
All I was told was grade the full arts and stuff like that there, because those are like STSPs, not the VMAX. I don't know if that maybe the VMAX are. I just know what the full art means, and I just know Charizard and Pikachu. I mean, there's been other stuff people have looked at like, dude, you should grade this is like a $30 card raw. If you PSA 10, it's now like 100 and something. Like, yeah, but till they bring back in TCGs, it's not worth it. I mean, honestly, like I said, I started venturing back into hockey. I'm playing with Pokemon, a little bit of WWE stuff. I mean, Do I still wish I could do baseball, football, and basketball? Mostly I could get baseball, whatever's left of my allocation, but football and basketball just way too overpriced for a box. I mean, unless I'm paying pre-order price on it, I would probably want to bang my head against the ground a few times. Oh, they have alternate art cards. Oh dear goodness. Yeah. Yeah, normally I have to look up every card on eBay with the little number at the bottom to know what the heck I got. I got a huge stack though of stuff from like VMAXs that were selling for decent money to like some kind of rare foils of like food or tin or something. See, now you got me talking Pokemon. I know I probably sound stupid too. I mean, I do have a couple Charizard full arts I haven't sent in. I think there's one laying over here. Goes in the next order if they ever bring back regular. Wait, I gotta go this way. That thing. Yeah, I heard about those. Those were out of the the new stuff, the celebrations big box. I forget what they were called. But yeah, people were going nuts on selling for stupid money them metal cards graded. Now people will start selling to Beckett. Is that Champions Path, that one? I thought I got out of Shining Fates. I'll have to look it up. For some reason, I thought that one was a Shining Fates one. I don't even remember what I got it out of. Every now and then, like I said, I'll find some dudes razzing them and I'll get into it. If I win them, I'll open those up because I just leave all the other stuff on the shelf.
I lied. I got like 92 cards I'm sending you. But Barry rookie, just all kinds. Dion rookie, Derek Thomas, like that 89 score set. Went through that.
Well, it looks like I know what I'm doing in the afternoon of the 17th.
Yeah, you can. My birthday.
Because the morning I had to take the dog somewhere and I got the cleaner coming early. They had changed days on me, but probably right after lunch I'll be going through them all.
There's 5 Tiger rookies in that lot I bought. The Jeter SP, a Ricky Henderson rookie, Mariano Rivera rookie, Pujols rookie, Jeter rookies. There's all kinds of stuff in that I found.
Eventually, Charles, somebody will grade them out there. SGC maybe.
Kobe rookie, Jordan, Shaq rookies. There's actually a Sean Kemp and a freaking John Stockton beam team in these.
I don't, Troy. I tried for them. I couldn't hit any of them. I can't tell you how many breaks I took the Penguins into and didn't hit any.
Oh, yeah. I ended up buying a 89 score football set, factory set. Cards were in great condition. Really, really good. $120.
Until I get a hold of them and I tell them, yeah.
They don't call it the Dream Crusher for nothing. And then I've had these ones right here I found too in the collection, but these are going to go to SGC because I knew the Dream Crusher will crush them. Jerry Rice, Peyton Manning, Aikman rookie, Piazza, Jeter, Kirby, Puckett, Pujols, McGuire. Actually got a Edwards red Chronicles hometown. This was actually numbered at a 149.
I don't know, SGC, Charles. I could tell you, like, some of the marks I had on some of my Bowman, I figured when it came back in 8, possible 9. SGC 9, 5, and 10 them on with the surface. I don't know. I mean, SGC, as long as the card's centered, I think a lot of that stuff they just waive because they know it's going to be on the card regardless. As long as it's not none crazy and heavy and all, on it. Oh, I just looked at the time. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to cut it because I gotta get up early for a show. That way I can get home early. See if I could find any true treasures out of people just set up last week at a different show. Maybe some new people will be there for a change. And you may be lucky. I know a lot of people say they've been seeing me in 502 Frank videos recently.
Look at you.
Kind of play like playing Where's Waldo.
Look at you, Captain Important.
Yeah. I think I've had like 6 or 7 emails over the last month about I just seen you in a 502 Frank video. I'm like, this one, no, it's another one. I'm like, what? What show was I at? I don't even remember.
My favorite set, Theodore, is a 91 Tops. Because that's more sentimental to me. That's why. That's the only reason why it's my favorite. Dream Crusher will kill those tigers. Sorry in advance. If they kill them, they kill them. If not, hey, it is what it is. He might get them and be like, hey, this one's worth it. If one of the 5's worth it, that's good enough for me at the time. The Dream Crusher can kill my dreams, but it can save me a lot of money.
Good.
That's the one way to look at it.
All right, everybody. Appreciate everybody hopping in tonight. I know it was a lot earlier. I'm going to do them a little bit earlier until we start going back with more light in the evenings time frame. Probably like keep it around 9 p.m. Eastern until about maybe latest 11ish on Fridays. But at least for the next 2 weeks. And then it'll be a break for over Christmas and New Year's come back. And then probably run the same hours, probably through maybe till Easterish time frame. But other than that, guys, have a good weekend out there. Appreciate you guys coming throughout the evening. I just chasing Ren and Stimpy. Oh my gosh. But you guys have a good weekend. If anybody needs anything for the show for me to look at, just send me an email and I'll flag it so that way I know to look at. Just make sure I have contact info to get in touch with you in case. I only got like 2 or 3 emails already. Better than that, good luck on Gridiron Football if you guys are in it this weekend. And we'll do some PSA 10,000 member here coming up soon. There it is. I had a fun thing.